Hello, everyone, and welcome to Live with Sheryl. I am your host, Sheryl Mebane. I am an actor, researcher, writer, musician, and the sister of the lovely and talented public health ninja, Dr. Felicia Mebane, who is co-hosting today, my special guest today, and many, many times on Live with Sheryl. We are very blessed with her. This show, as usual, Live with Sheryl, is all about music, art, and health and fun. So we have another packed program today. I want to get right into it. And I was showing Dr. Felicia little snippets of what was about to come up, even though I usually like to keep it even to the side just before, but I was trying to pack a lot of good stuff in. So we got a really, really healthy program with a lot of different little segments. Basically, because I've been a very busy bunny lately with a lot of different things in my art, and I want to share with you guys different snippets of it that I can share here, and hopefully give you guys some encouragement, some perspectives on some things. So we're going to move from an earlier trivia question, earlier than usual health trivia. So y'all get ready. And then we're going to go right into me sharing some things from the reading that was over there behind the paywall on Patreon. So I prepared some things there, and I'm going to, bring it over as promised, a little snippet. And then we'll flow on into some really interesting art that I've been able to be a part of that I want y'all to know about even before you can see my part of it. Don't even worry about that part. There's some good stuff going on. And that has a health connection as well. And then live music, more trivia so people can sort of decide what kind of things we do with the live music. Oh, are you exhausted yet? And then we also are going to talk about some things coming up in August that y'all are going to want to know about.
But before you get going, Sheryl, are there
Yes.
where else can people listen in? So let's say they're listening in on one place, but maybe
Yes.
it's easier for another place. You
Oh,
tell them
awesome.
where they can
Yeah.
listen in.
So for Live with Sheryl, so this program, okay, so that's awesome. Thank you, Felicia. See, she's an amazing public health ninja, and she wants y'all to know some things so you can find the show easily. So right now we have Live with Sheryl live on Facebook. So if you find Sheryl Mebane on Facebook, and you can see my website here, sherylsvoice.com, which has all my socials. And so it's live on Facebook, it's live on YouTube. And that's where, if you are a subscriber to my YouTube channel, which is under SHD Drum, because I'm a drummer as well as singer and songwriter, then you can have your comments and encouragements and statements live pulled into the show. That's what you hear when we have our sister who's a subscriber, and she can comment on the show. And then there's also live on LinkedIn. So if you are linked to me on LinkedIn, it's also live there. There'll probably be some other places that I work out, but lately I've been expanding what I'm doing over to behind the paywall. And so I haven't had a chance to get to some of the other spots. Oh, is there a hello?
There we go. Yep, there's a
From the
hello.
chat. Good evening. Good evening. Nice to hear from
CB.
you. Hello, CB. Hello. Welcome to Live with Sheryl. Good to hear from you. So yeah, that's a great question. Thank you. So on social, we are Live with Sheryl is more places than maybe where you're seeing. So if it's easier for you to slide over to Facebook, or it's easier for you to pop over to LinkedIn or see it on YouTube, those are different options where it's live. And then I also post it on my other social afterwards, but not live. It doesn't stream live on those other places. So that's a great question. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so that gave y'all some time to get warmed up for this trivia now, but just gave you a little bit of time, not a huge amount of time. So this first thing, so I think I probably mentioned some of the things that were being celebrated in June. You know how there's so many different emphasis months. So there's so many things that were getting celebrated, and I put a lot of that into the reading that I put together for going behind the paywall for June. But July is no slouch. There's lots of stuff coming up all the time for all kinds of months of the year to get us all thinking about things differently. So I looked around and this sort of came up. This was sort of a fun thing, but still I thought positive. And I wanted to find out what y'all know about these foods. What do y'all know about random foods? Now, let me show you what I'm talking about. Now, here is your question. Now, this is harder than usual because usually I give y'all multiple choice, but the prize is considerable. So I want y'all to just sort of be motivated by that. Which food can be enjoyed the following ways? And I'm going to read it for you. Now I'm going to play some music too so y'all can think about it a little bit because this is tougher than usual. Let me break it down for you. Sprinkled over your oatmeal or cereal in the morning. I don't do that.
Or
Eaten,
whenever,
eaten, or whenever.
right?
Eaten by themselves as a healthy snack. Baked into a pie. That should help out. Baked into a cobbler. Okay, y'all probably really know. Or dropped into lemonade for a delicious drink. Now, let me say, lemonade doesn't need anything in my opinion. But I'm going to go ahead and give y'all some time. I'm going to play a little bit of music and give you a little bit of time to think on these things and see what y'all come up with. And you can read the question right there, and then there's a considerable prize.
Okay, I do have a quick
Oh,
question about
clarifying question. Okay.
So it has to be used in all of them.
Yes, all of them. That's a great question. See, she's trying to help you out. Dr. Felicia's always got y'all's back. You just understand? So I'm going to need to see something up in the chat. I'm not even checking the chat. Dr. Felicia, can you check the chat and see if we got an answer? Oh, we got an answer? No, not yet. Okay, you check the chat. Okay, thank you. I'm just
it's
rocking
the hi Cheryl. There was a hi Cheryl.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, yeah.
Hi. Thank you. I'll give y'all a little more time to rock out. This is one of the things I was working on recently. Okay, I'm gonna give y'all a couple more moments. Okay, does anybody know? Any guesses?
Okay, there are two guesses in the chat.
Okay.
So one it is our nuts. One guess is nuts.
Oh.
And then the question was in lemonade ? And then
Exactly.
the other one is cinnamon.
Oh.
But they say they don't like cinnamon that much.
Right, because you wanted to eat it by yourself. Okay.
But is cinnamon considered a food? That's
I would have accepted
question.
it if it could sort of work with those conditions. So let me just go ahead and say,
well, cinnamon is not a healthy snack by itself.
Not by itself. That's what I'm saying, because it has to
Right.
hit all the conditions.
Right.
So
Right.
so I'm gonna say thank you for guessing, because those are yummy, and you could put those things on cereal, and it's like you sort of can pick out, certain things will go with certain of these things.
I have a guess.
Oh, you have a guess? Okay, cool. Okay.
The only thing is, I'm not sure about the lemonade, but I was thinking along the line of raisins.
Oh, you're going to get the prize. Let me go ahead and pull up the video to show you that it is even more general than just one food, and that might have helped people.
Oh.
But in general, it is berries.
Berries.
So, yeah. So raisins, yes, because raisins are dried grapes. That's going to count as a fruit that I consider a berry. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. So now let's rock out a little bit, and I would tell you
the lemonade really is what threw me off just a little bit. I'm not, like you said, I'm not used to putting stuff in my lemonade other than lemon.
Do you need some ice? Okay, that's fine.
Right.
But
and
other
sugar.
than that, right. I mean, if somebody didn't really do what they were supposed to do and really getting it sweet for you, then yeah, you might have to add sugar. But yeah, so berries. So while we're rocking out, so berries can be very helpful in all kinds of different ways. For
nice. So
yeah,
Cheryl,
go ahead.
Someone says, "Tell Cheryl I miss her drumming. Gotta run."
Oh, okay.
Yay!
I love you, and whoever you are.
Someone on YouTube, that was a LinkedIn user.
Oh,
someone on YouTube says hello.
Hello, hey. And this is some of my drumming, and I'm glad you let me know you gotta go. Okay, bye. I'll talk to you at another point because I probably know who you are.
Okay.
Let me. I'm glad folks are saying hello. I was just gonna give y'all from WebMD some of the extra. Actually, you know what? I sort of like that. I was gonna give y'all some of the extra little benefits that people talk about under WebMD, like because there's so many good antioxidants in berries that they can help you out because they give you all kinds of benefits that way. So it can help with cancer prevention and eye health around I think the antioxidants, but also just in terms of them being packed with good flavor, can help you with your blood sugar control and weight management, just as a healthy snack alternative. So there's just lots of great stuff about berries, and I've been going absolutely bazonkers for the fact that they are plentiful right now. There's some wild berries. If you know what you're doing, you can get your wild berries. Go to the store, get your berries that are in season.
Hmm.
So, but
I
okay.
was in Salt Lake City last week, and I had
Oh yeah.
rosenberry or Hassenberry. It was a new kind of berry, but it was good. It
Oh,
was in a drink. So, I mean,
is
you know, like
that's
lemonade drink.
cool. That's really
It was
cool.
really good.
Oh, so you did experience the berry in a drink.
Yes.
Okay. And it
Well,
worked.
it wasn't the whole berry, right? You
Okay.
know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
flavored. So they had mushed it and made it more part of more
Right.
closer to drink form than whole form.
Right. They're
So if
giving
they
you a
hadn't told me what it was, I don't think I would have guessed, in other words.
right. That's cool though, because when you go someplace and you get some localish food, that's exciting.
Right.
Part of the excitement
Exactly.
of going some. That's exciting.
Exactly. So we also have a comment. The person who said hello before says, "Hope you're having a great day." And then
Yes.
good medicine in terms of berries, and then blackberry pie. So we know who that is.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And yes, I am having a good day. It's been a very busy last couple of weeks, y'all, and I'm glad to hear from everybody who wants to be heard from out there, because as I'm running around doing stuff, sometimes I'm not as much in communication. That's one of the nice things about doing this, is it makes me reach out when I'm prompted to like think about this show. I'm like, oh, I get to talk to people like you and others that are in the chat and saying hello, and get to spread positive things like don't forget to eat y'all's berries because they're yummy and they're in season. And so let me just explain, because you came up with the right answer, you get to, yes, you did. You did berries, and you had a great anecdotal story to add to it. So,
Okay.
so you get the prize, which is going to be linked to the which is usually behind the paywall reading from last month. So I'm calling it James Baldwin Three Ways, and you get a link to the full thing. I already have your email address, so you don't have to worry about that. I get that to you. So that's the first part of the program, and the next part we're zipping through on to the next thing is sort of coming up because I had a lot of different things happening in the business. So, as I think I might have mentioned, as well as being a musician and having music like the music I just played that I created, that I do regularly, I sing and drum, as was mentioned, and do all kinds of songwriting. I also have the hat of an actor and a voice actor, to be specific. So recently I had two new clients, and I was feeling very blessed. They were interesting clients. One was the California Hall of Fame, which I wasn't familiar with, and so it was fun to like know about that institution and read about. Some people I knew about California, and some people I didn't. So if y'all go there, maybe y'all hear my voice over something in the future. But there was also another client that I had recently that I spent more time with because it was an audiobook client, and I had a lot of those early on, and then I switched to doing other things that are a little bit faster projects for me, just a different business model basically. But this project was so interesting, you guys. And so I have a little health trivia about it, and I want to introduce you to this project. And this is not my component of it. I read the work, but I want you guys to see it. And I'm just going to give you the title of it, because at first I'm going to share my screen about it later. But this is the project that I read. I narrated it, and I did not write it. It was written by Dr. BK and Miss Cassandra Edmond. So Dr. BK Edmond and Miss Cassandra Edmond wrote it together. I think they might be brother sister, but you can read about it more. And it's called The Quiltmakers: The Art of Hearing a Black Mother's Cry. And so I have a piece of health trivia around it. And that's one of the things that was so compelling for me to do this project, as I was learning things as I was doing, or being reminded of things. So I want y'all to get the benefit too. So here is the piece of considerably less fun trivia, let's just be honest about it, that is associated with that project. And then I'll get into it more with you guys. So here's the sort of fill in the blank, but I make it a little bit easier on everybody out there, and I gave you some options. So Black women have the either highest or lowest or average? That's the question. Maternal mortality rate in the United States. So it's black women have the blank mortality rate in the United States. Do you think they have the highest? You think we have the highest, the lowest, or average mortality rate for would be during pregnancy and childbirth and just right after too. I think they sort of consider that all maternal mortality. So again, I'm going to give people some time here to let it to think about that.
And
I know what we might want it to be.
right, well, and mortality means they die.
Exactly. Mortality means they die. And then
Mm-mm.
there's other morbidities,
Right.
and as our public health specialists will know, and we'll get into a little bit
Mm-hmm.
more with the resources people can go explore more. There are other things that are complications and outcomes that are not so great, that are not included in mortality, but are still pretty negative.
So
So I want to give people,
well,
oh,
we
go
have
ahead, go ahead,
a
Dr. Felicia.
guest in
Okay.
the chat, and also hi Mardisi. She says hi, cuz
Hey.
we see you.
Hey, we see you. Hey. Oh, that's actually very great that you phrased it like that too. We see you for what we're going to talk about. Hey, hey. Thanks for saying hello. So I don't want to play music because it's a little bit of serious topic here. So I'm gonna just give us a little bit more time, and then I'll go ahead and. Oh no! Oh, you wanted to go ahead and share. We have a guest. We have a guest. You
Well,
want?
there was one. Well, I know what the answer is actually.
Okay.
This
Okay.
this is a big theme in public health. So, but we have two guesses in the chat, and they
Okay.
both say highest.
Yes and yes. Okay, so that is very true. I'm going to go ahead and give you all some more information, and you can get several different sources, including the project that I was working on also was a source of some information about that. And as you, Dr. Felicia had said, there's a lot of awareness about this right now, and we're just continuing to spread that. But black women have the highest maternal mortality rate in the United States. So here I'm just sourcing an AP a group of stories, I think, where they sort of go in depth about causality, like what's going on there, and talk about all the different, like you said, it's not just about maybe mortality you're thinking about, it's other complications and what can interventions be. I just want you to speak because I know you know, and I want to get to the Quiltmakers
Yeah,
project, but we have an expert here, so let me give the expert some room to speak a little bit before I just move over to the Quiltmakers project because it's a
sure.
different, it's a more artistic kind of way, but you got the straight up public health expertise way.
Yes, but I am glad that you are adding another element to it because I think this isn't new. This is an outcome that has been happening in the United States for a long time, and we have some of the highest rates, not just compared to other women in this country, but for developing countries across. I mean, developed countries across the world. And so, for a country that has so many resources, it's perplexing and not acceptable at all that this would be the statistic. And so, another great resource about infant mortality rates and maternal mortality rates would be the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or the CDC.gov. So you can go there and get more information about the rates. And then they also talk about why. And again, it's not necessarily about what the women are doing themselves. There are
Exactly.
all kinds of determinants of this, including, having jobs that would allow them to have access to health insurance, to have access to care. There's racism in the way Black women are treated in the healthcare system.
Right.
There may be a lack of knowledge about things to do to prevent certain things, but there are a lot of systematic issues. There are cultural issues. We grow up eating certain types of things,
Right.
and then that can contribute in a way that you might not. It might be okay for you as an individual, but may not be okay for you as someone who's pregnant or that type of thing. So there are a lot of factors involved, and there are whole fields of public health called maternal and child health where people are trained to focus on that. So I'll just stop there because there's
No,
a
that's
lot
great.
more, but that's
No,
a starting point.
the Centers for Disease Control to get your stats if you're sharing this with other people because the resources I was seeing all reference the Centers for Disease
Exactly. And
Control
prevention, Centers
statistics
for Disease Control and
control.
Prevention, or the CDC.gov.
So now the bent for Live with Cheryl that we have our public health ninja who snuck in the straight up public health is to bring the art component into what we're doing. So I worked on this project as a narrator, but I just want to give y'all a little bit more awareness of it. It's called The Quiltmakers, and it's actually a story. And so it takes a fictional way to bring people into the real life consequences of these statistics so we can experience some. I'm gonna share my screen. We can experience a little bit of learning, but also walking through some of this as you follow these characters and get more engaged with it. And I have been doing long projects quite a bit in the past, like I was mentioning. And I don't know, can you guys see? Let me move this to the side. I just want to share just that part. I don't know if y'all can see it yet. Can y'all see it? Oh yeah, okay, now you can see it. So the quilt maker is the art of hearing a black mother cry. And I'll just say the the thing I experienced with how this project was so artistically done was that a lot of times have stepped away from doing the audiobooks because they are such long-term commitments in terms of I do the editing as well as the performance of it. And the project has to really grab me before I want to sit with it that much. You have to hear your own stuff and your own mistakes around the project to get it to come together if you do the editing. And this project, it just kept moving me because they had really gotten a great way to bring you into humanizing this issue as well known. So I'll just read a little bit about it for you guys, and then y'all can just go from there. You can read it on the screen. I'm sharing the screen. So the book is dedicated to the mothers of the African American community who unselfishly give life to our future while risking their own. It's for the sisters, daughters, cousins, aunts, wives, girlfriends, and lovers who participate willingly in the beautiful, creative, revolutionary act of birth. And you can just go on there and see more, but I think trying with this program to find interesting ways to pull in some of the things that maybe a lot of us know about that can be sort of weighty topics and still experience it and get another way to be reminded and then maybe motivated to take action. I think it's a really big challenge to be able to do that. And I think they pulled it off is what I want to say about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, that intersection between art and
Mm,
health and public health is very important because, again, these rates have been around for a long time, and
exactly.
sometimes there are myths and perceptions about Black women, that date back to slavery, that date back to us being experimented on with no painkillers because we were not
Exactly.
thought of to experience pain or thought of as people.
Horrific.
And so
Horrific.
anything that we have like this that is so beautiful, that humanizes and puts forward or to the front the voices and experiences of real people, like you said, the idea, part of the idea hopefully is that it will inspire people to, again, put more resources where this needs to be. Let's really figure this out and resolve it, because it really is unacceptable. And so we really do need more voices and people from these communities to, just, experience, to put it out there, to share their narratives and their voices and their experiences. So it's not all just statistics. So that is
Exactly.
really important.
Exactly. We need it. We need folks to keep doing these kinds of things. And I was just looking to make sure I covered as much as I wanted to share about it because the story is following a health professional into a community where people have sort of figured out something about this. And so it's a very hopeful and inspiring story because it really sits you right away in we can do some things with this knowledge about this problem and then with ways that we can address these different things that may be causing these disparities. And one of the big messages, which is when you were saying that our cousin said hello, was having Black women's voices be heard and having us be listened to when we're getting our care. And so strategizing about how that can happen. So it's not just upon one person when they might be at their most vulnerable. It's a part of what's in the book. And I think that's a component, like you said, of people just having us be seen as people who have something that's worthy of being heard, you know, as well as addressing other factors that might be contributing to this disparity is pretty important stuff. And we can all stand to be aware of it for ourselves, even those of us who are going to just be supporting other people through their maternal journeys, because I'm done having kids.
And because the other thing about
all time.
this mortality is that it is not protected by education or income. I mean, it is something that is happening that where the more money you make doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to have that problem or
Exactly.
experience that. So it is something we need to sort of disentangle and really and build, a system or experiences that level that out so it's not an issue.
Exactly. Exactly. And one of the ways that they pulled that and humanized that very fact was to have reference to Serena Williams's experience trying to be heard through her pregnancy. And of course, we know that she has a lot of resources and a lot of people know her, but still, being able to be heard in certain situations can be one of the challenges, among other things. So more to read about, y'all. Oh my goodness, y'all. I got to hurry up. Live with Cheryl is live, and we just going through things so quick. Well, not quickly, but I need to speed it up. Dr. Felicia, should I just play all the music fast? No, I shouldn't. No, that don't work. No. Okay, so I felt really blessed, and I just want to say thank you to the people who wrote that story. And I don't get any additional funds. They paid me well, y'all. So, but I just hope the message gets out there because I think it was inspiring to me to reengage with that, and I was aware a little bit of that situation, and just sharing these things out to all communities for people who can benefit from different health practices and ways to engage with the healthcare system that can help every single mother. That's another thing. This is not just good. If you read the book or if you read about this issue, you can also apply this to a whole bunch of communities. So that's good. It's good for us so that's good stuff. So in interest of time, I will sort of bump us along here to the next thing, but the person who got that right does get a prize, and that prize is going to be to choose which instrument I am going to use to accompany a little bit of that beat you heard before. So if that person is still available and in
I
the
think
chat.
so.
Okay,
So
cool.
Mardisi, oh, thank you, Mardisi. Mardisi says she totally agrees with what you said
Oh,
before,
thank you.
and that this is very touching. So Mardisi, you win. So what are her options, Cheryl?
Okay, the options are shaker and djembe. And I'm going to actually bring the djembe over, so I'm not just playing this time, where I for real will be able to play it. So let me show you, Marty. Let me show you what's going on. It's a little shaker. If you want a little high sizzle, let me give you a little taste.
So she's going to get the instruments, Mardisi, and you get to pick which one she's going to.
You heard before.
Yeah.
A little shaker.
So that's option one.
That's option one. Just add a little something. Or I could add a little drum pattern with the djembe. I'm going to go grab it.
Okay.
Oh, what just happened to my screen, y'all?
No. Well, okay, I was going to say, we can see you. I don't think she can hear us, even though we can hear her right now. So option number two is going to be the drum.
I'm going to lean it here.
So
that's not the pattern I'm going to play. I'm just
okay.
That was me noodling around a little bit, but djembe. That's the drum.
Djembe or shaker
available to
yes
to drag over here easily, or shaker. So what you want?
Okay. So what do you think, Mardisi? It hasn't come through yet.
But I'm a go ahead and get the cherry video.
Okay.
That has the music. I'll get that up because I need to rediscover where that is. Okay. Well, I'm just going to have to reload it then. So so there'll be a little bit of music interlude, and then we'll segue into little bits.
She says drum.
Drum. Okay, let's drum. Let's do this. I heard drum, and the lady shall have the drum. So we'll just get a little touch of this going. Oh, here we go. That's not a little. I want more than that. Okay. kind of things, but I'm like, the music itself sort of bops along and you don't want to overpower. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for letting me have an excuse to actually pull that over. See, I'm not playing. If I say I can do the djembe, I can actually bring it over here and get it into our setup. So it's not necessarily ideal, but we could do it. And so we did it. So thank you.
She says, awesome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So there is a lot of different stuff I want to touch on really quickly before we wrap up because we usually just do a half hour program. So we're going to do that again. But I did want to share a little bit of, as promised, what was behind the paywall for the reading last month. And so just to remind you all, I do have a Patreon set up, Sheryl Mebane. So I went over that. Y'all can look at the previous Live with Sheryl to get more details about that. But regularly, when I have patrons over there, I'll be doing either a behind the paywall full reading with some music, or a full concert with some chatter in between and some special things, or a reaction to those things each month. And so I want to give y'all just a little bit of what I put together last month and put behind the paywall so y'all can see. This was not live because I didn't have patrons at the time. So this is behind the paywall for the patrons. But I'm letting everyone see it here. Okay, here we go. Let me get me out of here. And Felicia, I'm gonna slide you to the side as well. Okay, here we go. Oh, that did not work. Okay, hold on a second, everybody. Let me stop sharing my screen. One thing. Here we go. All right. Live with Sheryl. Good times, y'all. We got this. Okay. So this is a little bit of James Baldwin, Three Ways, and I just wanted you guys to see some of it. Now, I'm not sure why. Oh, I see. Okay. Okay, sorry, y'all. I got to pull it up. Behind these scenes, there are all kinds of wonderful buttons for me to click. And sometimes I click the wrong ones, you guys. And that's what's going on there. Okay, now we got a little something. So this is just a snippet of it, and I just wanted y'all to get just a little bit of a feeling. Go from one section going into another of the three ways. So,
Black family life, the charged emotional atmosphere between parents and children, brothers and sisters, provided another major theme in Baldwin's fiction. This was especially apparent in his first and best-known novel, Go Tell It on the Mountain. The story of a Harlem teenager's struggles with a repressive father and with religious conversion. Carolyn Whedon Sylvander wrote, "It is painfully, dramatically, structurally clear throughout Go Tell It on the Mountain that the struggles every individual faces with sexuality, with guilt, with pain, with love, are passed on, generation to generation." The Poetry Foundation. In great efforts like the lives of James Baldwin or of my own father, a science teacher who inspired my closing poem, and even in small efforts like this celebration, we can and do try to have a different legacy also. He will tell you what he knows, not in the loud way of a fountain gushing, but like a stream a day after the last heavy rain. The water runs clear on the forest bed and flashes afternoon sunshine that bounces between clouds around loblolly, walnut, and cedar, and lands on the shifting surface faster than your thought forms. You will reflect some sayings in your giddy child song, editing nothing. Your memory as fast as your toddler legs.
okay. So I enjoy sharing, but I do have to leave some things behind the paywall. So that was an original poem of mine, and there is music that I composed and was played by Tangria Jazz Group. And it's just a little taste of how there will be, for people who've seen my readings before, you know that I was combining jazz with readings for my jazz novel, but I also have done this for Black History Month, and now I put this together for Juneteenth. And so the kind of thing that you're seeing there is the kind of stuff that you would see live behind the paywall over in Patreon land. But I just want you guys to get a touch of it because I got a chance to show my baby, my little toddler, and talk about my late father, who I miss terribly. So, oh, Felicia, let me put you back in. I'm sorry. Okay, hey.
That's okay. That was awesome. Thanks.
Thank you. So yes, as promised, I just want to give a flavor of what goes on over there to interest people, sure, but also just keep everybody sort of still getting some of the little things that come up because I enjoy doing that program, and I was like, oh, this is sort of inspiring for me. So I just want to give y'all little bits too, also. And then I know we're running a little bit late on time, and I do want to cruise on to the very last section of Live with Cheryl for tonight. And that is going to be just sort of looking ahead at what's coming up. I feel really lucky to know a lot of great creative people who also have a lot of things that they want to do out in the world in addition to entertaining us. And one of those people is a very dear friend of mine who I've worked in a band of, and her name is Becca Fink. And I consider her like a sister from another mister kind of thing. You know, she's really great. And I'm going to be able to perform with her on August 20th in California. And the site is up. I'm going to share my screen so you all can see. And then y'all will know the project is called The I Wants. And for people who are in the Bay Area, they're going to be able to check it out. It's going to be, as I mentioned, August 20th. It says it's 3 p.m. until we're done, y'all. And the details are there at theiwants.com. So it's all about we want sustainable living. We want people to be taken care of. We want people to have all kinds of juicy, wonderful experiences. And so there's mission there. There's you can read a little bit more about the charitable mission, I think, plugged into this. And I don't want to misrepresent it, but I think you can get more details there. And so I'm going to be playing there. And I just want people to know about it. But also, I want folk to know also, I wanted to start sharing tips. I'm just trying to cram a bunch of stuff in. So I'll be able to talk at the next Live with Cheryl on August 3rd more about the I Wants show, but I just wanted to let y'all know that the site is up so y'all can follow along there. Those are in the Bay. And hopefully I'll see y'all when I'm out there. We can do a little visiting. But the other thing I wanted to share was a little tip because I've been doing a lot of different art forms in the last month. And I want to let you all see a bit of a piece of good info that I thought would be great to share. So I've been doing screenwriting and typing away, but that's not your only job if you're a screenwriter. You also have to look up and share your stuff with the world. And I've been referring over and over again to one site that sort of makes it step by step. So people know it can be really challenging to break into any industry, especially some ones that are super competitive and a lot of people have interest in. So I've found this one site super helpful. And I want to let you all take a look at it and just break some things down stepwise. And this is, I think, a very reputable site where I've pulled some other things up. And they're just letting you know if you're trying to sell something, you have multiple ways to go about it. Not just searching out an agent. Maybe get a manager. Can y'all see yeah, y'all can see. Okay. And it goes on from there to give you specific things that are linked to other resources. So seeking out producers and executives by going to different sites where you can get their information, like IMDb Pro, which can be sort of an affordable, there's a link right there, plan for you if you need to do that. I don't get any money from it. I'm just telling y'all what I'm doing to try to get my stuff out there. So I'm just sharing what's been helping me sort of say, okay, I've gotten some things placed did the quarterfinals of a reputable contest. So let me see what I can do. So networking is another way to try to sell scripts. And a lot of people who are just working screenwriters who you don't really know from, big blockbusters, but they make their living this way. They sell things by networking, using the online pitch sites. So you just go on from there. And I've been more so entering contests, which a lot of people know about. Make sure it's a reputable contest because usually those are the ones that can help your career the most. And I've also been applying for screenwriting jobs. So I just wanted to share some tips for folks. And you can find things all over the place, but I've just been using this a whole bunch over time. And I've just want to...
Sure. Actually, what was the URL? I don't know if people caught the name of the site.
And I will be adding that to when... for those of you who are live, the URL is scriptreaderpro.com. And you can find a whole bunch of things that are really useful on scriptreaderpro.com. That's what I've found. But this one is / how to sell a screenplay. So I don't know if y'all can, well, I will put it in the comments later. So if y'all come back to see this recorded and you look in the comments, I will put the link down there. But it's a scriptreaderpro.com / how to sell a screenplay. So I keep referring to it because they have links to their other resources. And I know people have all kinds of places that we like to go for resources, but I'm just trying to share with y'all. This is just like a family kind of atmosphere. We want to help each other out. So I just want to help with some things that I think help me out. I mean, I haven't sold anything just yet, but you got to be in the game to win it, and you got to play the game right. Disclose. Well, I don't know if I'm that close. I hope I'm disclose, but yeah. That's what you should tell yourself, right?
That's right.
Yeah, for your own mental health. Say, I was just this close. They were just so close. But I have gotten some positive no's. It can be very It can be very helpful. It can make you actually pretty happy. I mean, you really want to sell something, but if somebody says, you know what, you got something here, it's just not for us, that makes you feel like you got something there. So I wanted to share that. And then I think the last little thing that I was going to share was just letting everybody know the next Live with Sheryl is going to be August 3rd. So the first Thursdays at 8 p.m. And I wanted y'all to know about that. And then there's also, like I said, Sheryl Mebane. Let me just show it to you. The Patreon thing that you all can look in the spot where we have the older Live with Sheryl's, because you can then see the previous episode immediately previous to this is where we walk through a lot of Patreon, but it's just patreon.com / Sheryl Mebane, so y'all can just see that. And so when we're talking about behind the paywall, it's over there. So with that said, my last little bit of time, I want to throw over to Dr. Felicia to talk about anything going on with her and anything that she might want to be letting folk know about.
Oh, well, not quite actually. But when I do have some concrete things, which will be coming up any month now, I will be sure to let you guys know. And I'm not sure.
Awesome.
There you are. Okay.
I was saying awesome. I was like, you can't see me or hear me.
Okay.
Awesome. So we'll just keep making some time because we really had a long program this time, but I really do want to make sure we have Live with Sheryl and our guests and co-hosts and people who contribute have a chance to really speak about what's going on with them as well, because y'all are amazing people and we want to make sure we get plenty of goodness from y'all as well. So everyone, thanks for hanging out the extra time. I know we're all busy people, so I want to wrap it up. The next Live with Sheryl is going to be right there. Details 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, August 3rd. It's usually the first Thursdays, and there'll be a mix of things going on that time too. So we hope to listen out and hear from you guys before then, but hear from you then as well. Y'all take care. Bye.